All right, more fundamentals on TRX Tron. I guess I'm the roaring kitty of Tron because the way I'm betting, if it goes to $1, I'm gonna become a millionaire. So if it goes to $2 or $3, it's gonna be crazy. Now, anyways, I want to get into the fundamentals. The first thing that attracted me to Tron was not the fundamentals, but it looks so unlike other crypto charts. Even Bitcoin has got the big booms and busts. The altcoin charts, these insane ups and downs. XRP, yeah, it's strong, but everything happened in one day. ADA, these things are still far under their 2021 highs. TRX is just it doesn't look right. It looks like almost every month is green. The red months barely go down. What's going on here? So I'm going to show you some more fundamentals, but Tron, every day that they're minting new USDT, which is the money supply in crypto expanding, these institutions are also buying Tron as the plumbing, as the rails to support that. Also, every time that there's transfers happening every day, there's a little bit of buy pressure on Tron for fees. So considering that Tron is doing the most volume, has the most USDT transfers, there is a constant daily buy pressure on TRX that is operational, which puts it in really rare air. I mean, Bitcoin has an operational sell pressure with miners need to sell to keep the lights on. TRX has an operational buy pressure, which is why it's looking more like the S&P 500, but on crack, right? It looks like the S&P 500 institutional, small but going exponential, because every month there's institutional buys that are operational as long as USDT expands. So again, knowing that this is essentially leading the transfer use case of money for crypto, you'd think that it would be ranked higher than it is. So here, if we look at the coin market cap today, Tron's actually number 10. It fell behind Cardano. So we have the leader in payments by volume, which I'm going to show you by value, and it's like 1/16th of Ethereum. It's less than Cardano, which is doing nothing. There's no transfer volume there. There's no transfer volume on Doge. Solana has a lot of activity, but it's not has as much value being transferred, 3 times the market cap. So part of what I'm doing is creating a fundamental valuation based on we should value we're valuing stocks based on their revenue. Obviously, there's potential. Some of the valuation is based on what's going to happen in the future, but earnings, profit, these are the things that we look at. So we should evaluate a blockchain based on how much value it's moving, how many users it has, transactions it has, and so on. And if so, Tron should be at least Solana, but really should be more than XRP. So we're talking a potential 3 to 10x for Tron for it to have a fair fundamental valuation. So I want to show you a couple things. First here, this is the tethered transparency page. Here it shows where USDT is. So what's first is Tron. There's okay, there was 1 billion authorized to Tron just now, but it's not authorized yet. It was issued. It was authorized but not issued. But number one is Tron with $82 billion. Number two is Ethereum with $79 billion. So it's close. It's a dogfight for dominance of USDT, which is USDT is number 4. And Tron is winning. So the one that's winning this main use case, does it make sense that it's 1/20th of the one that's losing? To me, it doesn't make sense, other than people are not really paying attention to it because the narrative hasn't taken off yet. which we can confirm. We have the market cap. Let's look at the volume. 70 billion trading volume on Bitcoin, 50 billion on Ethereum. Obviously, most trading volume is happening on Tether because everything's USDT pairs. XRP 7 billion, BNB 4 billion, Solana 7 billion, Doge 3 billion, Cardano 4 billion, TRX 1.6 billion. One of these things is not like the others. Why? Tron's just not popular to trade. However, it's popular for institutional exchanges to buy and hold. So part of my thesis is at some point Tron is going to be popular to trade. And at that point, that's going to look like it correcting to the upside. How is that going to happen? It is going to happen. I don't know how it's going to get there, but what we can say is it since 2021, how big was this drawdown? 70%. Since then, it hasn't had very severe drawdowns, right? It had a pretty big drawdown off this spike, but it only went down off an insane pump. It didn't like correct off of a base. So the other thing I want, but it doesn't make sense to you that it's a dogfight for USDT. Tron is actually winning, beating Ethereum. Ethereum is like 500 billion market cap. Tron is like 30 billion. It doesn't really make sense. Now, the other thing that I can show you, if we go to Tron scan, which we can see what's happening today, the total transfer volume in the past 24 hours is $20 billion. That's how much is being transferred on the Tron chain. This is bigger than Bitcoin. It is bigger than any other. And it is comparable to Visa. Visa, I can't get real-time data, but it's like 20 to 40 billion. So it's transferring a similar daily value to Visa. Do you know what Visa's market cap is? Today, Visa's market cap is a little more than ETH. It's about $650 billion. So we'll say Visa's doing up to twice the value in transfers, and Tron has 1/20th of the market cap. It seems mispriced. Now, one other thing that I can tell you related comparison to Visa is Tron has over a 99% payment success rate. Visa's was like 70%. I forget. I'm going to ask. What does that mean? Well, Visa's success rate is much lower. It means anytime someone puts in the wrong PIN or there's insufficient funds, a lot of Visa transactions fail, a high percentage of them. Tron is like, it just works. Tron transactions fail when people don't have the fees in their account to pay them, right? Value lock, total transactions in the last 24 hours, 11 billion. Are you kidding me? So we can look at the real-time transfers. Look at the accounts just increasing. Let's look at the real-time transactions right now. This is real usage 6 seconds ago. Let's see. I want to see amount transactions. Let's do transfers. Let's go. Where can we see transactions? Top 5 tokens by transfer volume. It did 35 billion Tether yesterday. Are you kidding me? And 500 million in Tron. That's crazy. Let's see. I want to see 7-day transfer volume is 177 billion. It's so insane. Okay. Let's look at I want to look at real-time transfers. Transactions. I guess it shows the value in TRX, but let's look at the real-time transactions. Trading volume, total $140 trillion, and this thing is $30 billion and growing. It has, so these are really small transactions that are happening. Probably a lot of those are payments. Where do I see transfers? Blockchain transfers, here it is. So this is what I was interested in. Where it's transferring USDT. So here it's happening It's doing like 100 transactions a second. And this is not just exchanges, actually, it's also people doing payroll, gig work, small transfers between accounts, freelancing, 400, 100, 177, 200, 178. A lot of $178 transactions happening. Is this wash trading? No, because it costs money to do it. That's not sustainable. And this is USDT transfers. 31 seconds ago. It's like Visa. It's on Visa's level and it's 1/20th. It's insanity. It's insanity. So, um, yeah, I'm just trying to survive for now. Like I built a huge position. I plan to add to it between here and 50 cents. If we get to 50 cents, I'll have most of my position and then try to hold to over $1. So I don't know. I don't have a time frame when that would happen. I would say $1 within the next 18 months is my prediction. At some point, it's going to be undeniable, and I believe it can get there without the trading volume ticking up because again, there's a floor of the constant buying, the constant buying as USDT expands and as it's won the space and as it's entrenched more and institutionalized more. So again, not financial advice, but watch this space and happy investing.